Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center on ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at the 20th question from Digital SAT Test 1, Reading and Writing. And the paragraph reads, the violins handmade in the 17th century by Italian craftsman Antonio Stradivari have been celebrated as some of the finest in the world. In close collaboration with musicians, Stradivari introduced changes to the shape of a traditional violin, flattening some of the instrument's curves and making blank lighter overall. What choice completes a text so that it conforms to the conventions of standard English? What part of speech do we see in the answer choices? We see pronouns. What does a pronoun do? It replaces a noun. That noun that the pronoun replaces, what is it called? It's called the antecedent. So what we've got to do as soon as we see a pronoun is we've got to identify the word it replaces, identify the antecedent. So what is the word replacing? Once you identify it, you've got to read it in place and make sure that it makes sense. So my first thought is, hey, is it instruments? Well, the antecedent's never going to be something possessive. This is just saying that the curves belong to the instrument. So is it curves? Making the curves lighter overall? No, you're not going to make the curves lighter. So what could be the antecedent? It could be violin. And then to make sure that it's the antecedent, you always want to read with it in place. So flattening some of the instrument's curves and making the violin lighter overall. So it's violin. And then once you identify the antecedent, you got to say, hey, is this antecedent? Is it singular or is it plural? There's a violin, the violin, singular. So I've got to replace it with a singular pronoun. Those is plural, one is singular, them is plural. What would make sense? Making one light overall or making it light overall? It's going to be it because it's talking about it in general. Making one light overall, that would be if it's talking about more than one violin and you're saying that you're only making one of them light, or if you're talking about a person, you might use one. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with pronoun antecedent agreement. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything and check out our 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.